We come to this place for magic. We listen to the Brown Boy Wonders podcast to laugh, to cry, to care. Because we need that. All of us. That indescribable feeling we get when we click the play button and we go somewhere we've never been before. Not just entertained, but somehow reborn together. Having dazzling guests on this great audio platform. Sound that I can feel. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Our heroes feel like the best parts of us, and stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here they are. Brown Boy Wonders podcast. We make podcasting better.
Welcome to the spooky edition of the Brown Boy Wonders podcast. In this episode of the spooky month of October, Skyler and I are you should know now that we're rewatching all the Saw movies, and right now we're going to talk about Jigsaw. Skyler, how you doing, man? You're my oldest friend. Come here.
Where's Rachel Dawes? She is my oldest friend. Come here.
I am here, and I am your oldest friend, and we watched Jigsaw, and okay.
All right. Well, I have to ask the same question, man. Do you want to play a game?
I'm getting pretty tired of these games at this point. There's a
Yes,
lot
yeah.
of games.
It's a
but,
lot of games.
but we're almost to the end, so I guess let's keep playing.
Yeah, let's keep playing. So Saw 7, it ended 2010, and where this movie takes place, well, not really takes place, but we're now going to see it's like a reboot, it's a sequel, it's a prequel, it's like all of that, all mixed. Years, 2017. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, I know I just said we will get into it, but before we get into it, I do have a little game for you.
Okay,
All right, so I have these quotes. I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 quotes, and you have to tell me if it's a Jigsaw quote or a Rocky Balboa quote.
Oh, okay. I don't know why Rocky, but I love Rocky and I like Saw, so I think I can do this.
Okay, that's good. Well, I picked Rocky because, Jigsaw, to us, or to many other people, he's a life coach. And also Rocky Balboa as well. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. All right. So, the first quote. Once you're in hell, only the devil can help you out. Is that a Jigsaw quote or is that a Rocky quote?
That is a Jigsaw quote. In fact, I think that's from Saw 2.
Ding ding ding, you're correct. All right, man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, the second quote. Nobody owes nobody nothing. Is that a Rocky quote or is that a Jigsaw quote?
That is 1000% Rocky.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Ding 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 ding, that is correct. Man, you're 2 for 5. That's pretty good, man. That's
All
pretty
right.
good. The third quote. All we can do is just go with what we are. Is that a Jigsaw quote or is that a Rocky quote? You want to hear it again?
You said all we can do is just go with what we are.
Yeah.
That sounds like Rocky to me.
Are you sure?
Final answer.
Okay. It is ding ding ding. You're correct, man. You are 3 for 5.
All right. Keep them coming.
All right. All right. The fourth quote here. It's vengeance can change a person. Is that a Jigsaw quote or is that a Rocky quote?
Jigsaw.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Are you sure?
Yes.
Judges? Oh, we don't have any judges. It
You
is ding ding
make me
yeah ding
nervous.
ding 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 ding. It is Jigsaw quote.
Why
Vengeance
are you
can't
trying to get
change
me
a
to change
person.
my answers? You want me to be wrong so bad.
Yes. Well, right now you're 4 for 5. How are you feeling right now?
Well, at first it was all for fun, but now I have an almost perfect record, and I'm really nervous.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We all like to be nervous in these times. All right, here we go. The last quote. The future is not set in stone, and we can only. Oh, sorry. We can make our own destiny. Is that a Jigsaw quote or is that a Rocky quote? I'll say it.
Jeez.
I'll say it again. The future is not set in stone, and we can make our own destiny.
Um, I I don't think that's something Rocky would say. That doesn't sound like the Italian stallion to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that's Jigsaw. Final answer. I already have a passing grade if it's just 4 out of 5, but I'm gonna say Jigsaw.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Eh, it's
Ah,
incorrect.
when did Rocky say that?
Okay. Jigsaw did not say it. Rocky did not say it. Kyle Reese from the Terminator said it.
You were such a piece of shit.
So-
You were such a piece of shit. I
hey
didn't
man,
even. Man, I literally watched Terminator like last week.
you should have known then.
I didn't. Let's
The
move on.
1982 classic.
You're that's okay. That means I'm 4 for 4 on the actual thing,
Yeah.
and you're just a lying little. We're moving on.
All right, let's move on. Yeah. So let's move on to Jigsaw. It came out in 2017. Saw 7 came out 2010. So we're 7 years out. And during that time, how were you feeling? Were you missing Saw?
No, because the last Saw movie we got was Saw 7. So
Yeah.
I think I and everyone else was like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Saw's done. We moved on to other things. At this point, we're starting to get more different horror movies.
Hmm.
Um, 2017, is that like the I don't like the concept of elevated horror because like good horror movie is good horror movie, but
Right.
we would have gotten like what the Babadook by then,
I think
and
so.
and I think It Follows came out
Hmm.
around or around then. But even if not, the Insidious movies and
Conjuring.
yeah, the Conjuring series. I don't think the horror movie fans were desperate for Saw to come back. Everyone had enough stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Um, but Saw came back anyways.
Saw came back. I mean, they're like, we gotta we this was a great franchise when it came out, and they want to make some buck out of it.
Mm.
So I'm okay with that. Let's move on to the new cast members. We got Matt Passmore as Logan Nelson. He is the doctor, the main doctor, or not main doctor, but he's like,
Yeah, he's the main guy, not in a trap.
yeah, for sure.
Uh, yeah, I don't know what this guy's known for. Um,
I don't
yeah,
either.
this
Uh,
is another relative unknown for me.
I mean, sometimes it's good for the series. We also got Callum Keith Rennan as Detective Holloran. He's a old detective in the movie.
Hmm.
We got Clay Bennett as Detective Keith Hunt. He's the partner of Detective Holloran. We got Hannah Emily Anderson as Eleanor Bonneville. She's the assistant of Logan Nelson.
She's
Uh,
she's
yeah,
the she's like the freaky chick, right?
yeah, she's the red haired girl.
Yeah, the one that's a weirdo.
Yeah, she kind of likes the traps. And we got Laura Vandervoot as Anna. Oh man, I think Anna was literally the worst person in this film.
Absolutely. But Laura Vandervoot, I actually know her from things, not in real life, but she's in stuff. She was in Smallville.
Oh,
She
okay.
was Supergirl in Smallville.
Oh,
Um, damn, I guess that's all I know her from.
that's.
But
I mean, Smallville's good.
but
Smallville's
yeah,
good.
yeah, Laura Vandervoot. She was a name that I recognized, a face I recognized. I was like, oh, she's in Saw. Good for her? Question mark.
Yeah. We got Paul Braunstein as Ryan. Do you remember him? I don't remember the name. Oh, I think he's one of the, the people in the trap.
Yeah, he's the guy with the leg, right? I
Is
mean,
that him?
that'll make more sense when we talk about it, but isn't he the guy with the leg?
Is that Mitch?
No, Mitch is the other guy.
Ooh, okay.
What a great
Well,
conversation we're having for
well,
people. Is he the guy or the other guy? Well,
well,
no one will find out because we're too stupid to explain.
no, we'll find out when we go through it. As I mentioned, Mitch. That's Mandela Van Pebbles. His last name is Pebbles.
Mandela Van Peebles. He is the son of a somewhat famous director, Mario Van Peebles. I think he's his son. Yeah.
Okay.
Mario Van
Okay.
Peebles is a director. He's done a bunch of stuff. But Abrar, if you've ever seen Jaws 4, have you seen
Right.
Jaws 4?
I don't remember.
Mario Van that's when the shark chases them to Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mario Van Peebles plays the Jamaican guy that gets almost eaten by the shark at the end, but then the shark spits him out. That's a bad
Oh.
movie.
Well, th- we're not off the bad movie train here. Um, we got Brittany Allen as Carly, not iCarly, but Carly.
Always talking about iCarly, this guy.
Yeah, and Carly, she kind of, I think she died pretty bad in here.
Oh yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
good.
it wasn't good at all. We got here is Joshua Black as Edgar Munson. Not confused with Stranger Things Munson, but Edgar Munson. He's a pivotal role in this movie. Um,
Right.
yeah, we got Edward Ruffle as Matt. Do you remember Matt? I don't remember the names actually.
No, I don't
Uh,
remember any of these characters. I mean, I remember the main people in the trap, and I remember the
yeah,
main people, but all these people at the end, I don't know who these are.
yeah, and we got Michael Boisvert as Lee James. I don't remember. And we got same Cools as Melissa. I don't remember, but we'll get into it. Before we get into it, oh, we are getting into it, but the budget. We gotta talk about the budget. What do you think for this one?
Um, man, I don't even have an idea of how to begin to guess because everything was like a certain way when they made the first 7, like year after year after year.
Yeah.
But this is 7 years removed from that, and they're like,
Hmm.
let's bring it back. And this movie, I want to say, has a higher budget because it just looks like it does, but also it doesn't take place in many different places. There's the barn, there's
Yeah.
wherever like the cops are messing around at, and then there's like a couple rooftops. So it doesn't feel expensive, but I have no idea. Times have changed.
7 years.
Basically, I don't have an answer for this one. I don't know.
Whoa. That's the first time after 8 episodes.
All right. $10 million.
For the first time, you're correct. It is 10 million.
Right on the money. Wow. All
Very
right.
nice. So you are like 6 for 5 from the quotes thing. That's
Yeah, that
pretty
was a
good.
total guess. I just went back to because that's around what the other ones were.
Yeah.
Talked myself into thinking that it was.
The middle ones were like around 10 million. The Saw 7 was like 20 million, if you remember, because of the 3D. Um, Yeah, the box office. What do you think is the box office for this one?
Uh, I don't know. I don't remember this one doing well. And I
Really?
don't remember I don't remember Spiral doing well either. Well, this one must have done okay because we got Spiral and then Saw X, so
Yeah.
they didn't stop. Um, I don't remember how much did Saw 7 make? Do you remember?
I can look back to my notes. Let me look at it.
While you look that up, I just realized that the guy that plays Detective Keith Hunt, Clay Bennett,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, he played the guy, Battlestar in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Remember him?
Oh, that's him.
Lamar Hoskins.
Oh. Okay, he's a
Yeah.
good actor, I think.
And yeah,
um, for Saw 7, the budget was 17 million, and then the box office was 136 million.
136 million.
I think that's pretty good for like the last final chapter.
That's so how their budget was what? How much?
For Jigsaw is 10 million.
Oh no,
For Saw
Saw
7
7,
was
yeah.
17 million.
17 million. And then they made 100. So they made quite a bit of money considering it was the worst movie of the franchise at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say this one made 100,000. No, I mean 100
Whoa.
million. 100 million. Excuse me.
Whoa,
No,
100,000.
it wasn't
That's
that
like,
bad. It wasn't
yeah.
that.
Um, okay, you're close. It's 104 million.
Man, you gotta stop rounding and just give it to me. You gotta be like round up, man. Come on.
All right, all right. 100, all right, 100 million. You got it.
Goddamn right.
Nice. Well, yeah. What are your thoughts on rewatching Jigsaw?
I was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, Saw 7, oh, this is so bad. This one is fine. There's things about it that are like not very Saw, and there's things about it that are too Saw. I know that makes no sense. I'm rambling like an idiot, but
Uh-huh.
um this one is I'm not going to say okay. This one is fine. That is the word.
Yeah, it was fine to me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was
Mhm.
um because since like this movie, once you're watching it, you don't know if it takes place before or after or present. But when it came down to it, it was pretty much a prequel at the same time of a like present day
Of a sequel.
of a
It's
sequel.
like the entire series is sandwiched in between this.
Yeah, so it's kind of
Um
weird.
it's very clearly what they came up against was they said, "How do we get Tobin Bell back in the movie?"
Yeah.
Like not only is he dead in the series, but that was a long time ago. Like he's been dead for a minute and he's got no more plans floating around that we can think of. How do we get him again? And so they they do this bit where the twist is that the test we're seeing the whole time took place years ago. It was what they call the first test, which
Hmm.
I take problem with because the first test was him putting Cecil in that knife chair.
Oh, that is true.
Um, but I guess if you don't include that, this is the first group test.
Yeah, first
And
group test.
um, so I guess we should talk about the test first.
Um,
Keeping in mind that while the test is happening, we've already revealed the twist. While the test is happening, and we see the five people go through it, uh, one by one, the police in the modern day find bodies that while we're
yeah,
watching, we think it's happening. These are the bodies, but it's someone recreated the test, and that's all revealed at the end.
Yeah, we'll reveal at the end. But yeah, pretty much all the tests happen, and then we're finding out in present day. But yeah, let's well, due to the success of 144 million in the box office, that's why Saw 9 and Saw 10, or sorry, Spiral and Saw 10 were released or greenlighted as well.
Yeah.
So another trilogy, I guess. But
Yeah.
yes, Edgar Munson's test. This is the first thing. What do you thought about this test?
Uh, it wasn't really anything. he
Yeah.
he was told go go. Well, what was he supposed to do?
He was supposed to have like a trigger, right? And he was supposed to go to the rooftop and pretty much like there's like a clock and if he doesn't like if he doesn't if he managed to reach to the clock the end of the clock, then all the people who are in their trap right now will be released. But since he let go of the trigger, it started the traps.
Yeah, this guy. This is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
He was just there as a reason for him to get shot, and then us wonder who shot him. That's the only
Yeah.
reason this guy's in the movie. Um, there's nothing. A nothing start.
But yeah, basically he triggered he activated the traps and well he does come in important in other storylines. But yeah, so he died and this trap started and then it's the murderer's trial. We got the victims of Mitch, Anna, Ryan, Carly, and I won't say the other guy's name.
Yeah, just random buckethead.
Yeah, Bucketheads. But yeah, they woke up. They're like, "What the hell is going on?" And they see buzzsaws in front of them, and yeah, and I think Jigsaw says you gotta give us some, little blood so you can get out.
Mhm.
And one of them realized it. They got released.
Yeah, he spells it out as clear as can be. This one, he's just like, just give me blood, and then you're out. And they're getting pulled towards these saw blades by like chains around their necks, and they got buckets on their heads for some reason. Well,
Yep.
the some reason is so that we don't know who the fifth guy is. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's a big reason.
so, so so they're getting pulled, and then I think who was it? Was it um was it Laura Vandervoot's character that cut herself first?
She cut herself first and was telling everyone else like, "Hey, I got released
Yeah, she was
from the
like, "You gotta
bucket."
cut yourself. You gotta cut yourself." So one by one, they all like kind of scared, sheepishly sidle up to the saw blades, except for Mitch, who like accidentally like falls into the saw blades. But it doesn't kill him. He's all right. So they
He's
all
alright.
cut themselves and bleed, except for the fifth guy, who we don't know who it is because we never learn anything about him.
No, he
Um,
got well, we know that he got messed up by the saw
yeah,
blades.
he's too the drug dosage was like too high, so he never woke up.
Yeah.
So everyone else like figures out that they need to bleed to move on, except for him because he didn't wake up, and then he starts to wake up as everyone else is like getting pulled by these chains to the next room. And Laura Vandervoot's like, "You got to cut yourself. Oh, you got to cut yourself." But he's just a little sad buckethead, and then oh, he didn't make it. We're left to believe that he died.
Yeah. End of his story.
For
Yet.
now.
Uh, if you guys have not watched Jigsaw yet, we're just spoiling it for you guys, but I would stop now and go watch the movie and come back here. Okay, let's go. So after that, the group, our guys, they're now in the chain hangers trap. This is where
Mhm.
Billy the puppet wheels out with a tape attached to him and a piece of paper that says "confess."
Yeah, and then we get like that modern day like Joss Whedon sass where the Ryan character, he's like, "Yeah, that's not creepy at all."
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to 2017.
I thought that was funny in the trailer when I saw it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely for the trailer.
Yeah.
That's why that line's there.
But yeah, so pretty much they're about to get hanged with this chain, but they gotta confess. And the thing
Yeah,
is, yeah,
the it all comes down to one person,
yeah,
and there's like 3 different syringes with different numbers on them, and the test is like, well, one of you cost a life, you made someone die because you did a thing,
yeah,
confess to the thing, and the number correlates to how much money is a life worth. That's what he said.
yeah.
And they determined that it was Carly, not
Ye-
iCarly. Ha ha ha.
Not Carly, not Mandrake, Miranda Cross. What's her name?
It's that's yep, Mandrake Crosgrove. So Carly, uh, a long time ago,
A long time ago.
stole this lady's purse,
Yeah,
and the lady tried to chase after her, but she had a bad asthma attack, and she
died.
started to die. Yeah, and Carly just kind of like watched her die and was like, "Oh, well, that sucks," and then didn't give her inhaler that was in the purse, and
No.
instead took like $3.48, like that's all that was in there or whatever. And so the 3 syringes, like one of them's nothing, one of them is uh acid,
Acid.
and the other one is like a cure to a poison that's in her, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And the number, like I said, it's in reference to the money.
That number is 3.53.
$3.53.
Yeah.
So I guess the apprehension, because this Carly character, she's like a coward,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, it's not my fault that the person died. It's not my fault." And then she refused to take the uh to inject herself because like, oh, what if it's the acid? So I guess even though she put together, she was like, "Oh, that's the amount of money I stole." She knew the answer, but I guess did she think, what is it, the cure or is it the acid? Like,
Yeah.
and you know what's crazy is we don't have an answer to that, because what happens is they're all being like choked to death because she won't do it.
Yeah.
So Ryan jabs her with all of them,
Yeah. Right in
and
the neck.
she just kind of melts from the inside,
Yeah.
kind of like our main guy from Saw 6.
Yeah. So Brian killed a person.
Yeah, but I was not against him on this one.
Yeah, it was kind of like panic
Every,
mode.
everyone else in the room immediately turned on him, like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe you did that, you evil bastard." It's like, fellas, we were choking to death, and she was gonna let us choke to death.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
well, yeah. Carly died, melting face, and they were let go from the chain hangers. Uh, but yeah, overall, I thought that particular type is pretty good. Because you got to confess what you did. That's pretty much what Jigsaw's whole thing is. Um, but yeah, next is the leg wires. This one is kind of nasty.
yeah, this one's not even really a trap. This is just this something bad happened because you broke the rules.
Yeah. Um,
Uh, in the next room, Ryan tries to like walk out the door, I guess, and his leg smashes through the floorboard and gets tangled up in like fine wire.
yeah. It's like it's really it's like barbed wire, but like you literally can lose your leg here.
Yeah, it wasn't barbed wire. It was just
It was just like a tight wire.
yeah, it was just very, very fine and tied around him super tight, and it kept tightening too.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's really not much to say about this. It was just a way to basically take Ryan as a character like off the board, and then the other two go do a trap,
Hmm.
and then Ryan loses his leg. Like that's the end.
Yeah. Well, the way he loses his leg is because of the next trap is the silo trap is where what's their face? Anna and Mitch, they were stuck or about to be drowned of sand while pitches or like shovels,
Pitchforks and knives.
pitchforks.
The amount of comical things that just start falling from the sky, like it could have been a few steps later, and it could have been like a joke from a scary movie because
Yeah.
they get stuck in the silo and it fills up with like grain or whatever.
Yeah, sand grain.
Um, and when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh, that's scary," because that really happens. People like get stuck in silos and then they suffocate, they die in there, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is something." But
Yeah.
it's not Saw unless something stabs you. So
That's true.
so so then the grain stops and there's just their little heads poking out and they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna suffocate." And then, like you said, pitchforks, saw blades, butcher knives, like all this funny stuff. Like if this was a parody movie, like scary movie, like you'd expect like then a bowling ball and
Yeah.
then like a rattlesnake. It's just like all this different stuff would just keep coming out. I think like a needle or a knife like lands on Mitch's shoulder and stabs into him, and
Yeah.
it's just silly.
It's silly
And
when you're looking at it because like there's a big or buzzsaw like between Anna's like face, and I was
Mhm.
like, it's not. It doesn't look realistic. But
Yeah, no.
yeah.
And
So freaking Mitch. The reason for that trap to stop is Ryan, like as you mentioned, got cut off his leg, and he did, and then he stopped the
he
trap.
has to pull the lever, which would cut off his leg, but then open the door to the silo. Which raises the question, what if he didn't try to leave and didn't get his leg stuck? Like later he gets chastised, like, "Oh, you tried to leave, idiot. You should have done that." But like it was part of this other test.
Yeah, that's kind of so. Whoever was Jigsaw,
Maybe,
um,
maybe I'm misremembering something here, but it doesn't seem right.
uh, I mean, I don't know. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So
You should definitely leave that in the podcast.
yeah,
Don't cut that out.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it. But yeah. I don't know if we're missing anything, but maybe Jigsaw was someone to mess up and fall for the trap or fell into the hole.
Jigsaw's good at planning ahead, so he probably knew that someone. As a matter of fact, okay, this is where I failed because I watched this movie weeks ago and I don't remember exactly. But when Ryan's in the trap and the little tape plays, does it say "Hello, Ryan"? Did he know Ryan was gonna try to leave?
Oh, good question. I think he did. I
That's crazy. If so,
Hold on. Let me read my notes here. It says here Mitch then tries again. Hold on. Let me check the whole trap for leg wires.
Mhm.
The victim of the trap was Ryan. Ryan spots a door marked "No Exit" and proceeds to walk towards it in hopes to break through and escape the gate. The door is on a slightly raised wooden platform, which Ryan steps into. The platform breaks away, and then beneath him was causing his leg to fall through three cables to wrap his legs around. Uh, one one around of the bottom of the calf, one around the upper middle, and then up to his knee. The cables are pulled taut by a series of pulleys. A tape player is then found at the bottom of the trap, in which Mitch attempts to pull out with the rake on his first attempt and got the tape. And then Mitch accidentally hits one of the wires, takes one of the cables, causing him to pull even tighter on his leg. Mitch then tries to second time to retrieve the tape player with the rake, and again hits one of the cables. This time purposely triggers the second cables to shred on the rake. Mitch attempts to grab it with his arm and then succeeds. John Kramer's. Okay, now we're reaching to what we're trying to
All
answer
right,
here.
all right. I hope everyone stuck with us this far.
I apologize, everyone. John Kramer's voice is heard on the tape, explaining that there is a lever located behind the cables of the trap that will set him free. A door then opens, which leads to the silo. It's the silo trap. So yeah, I never mentioned about his name.
Well, what you just read didn't. I don't know if the movie did.
Oh, true.
So all of
But
that, and we didn't get an answer.
apologize, everyone. But let's get into the next trap. So our guy Ryan, he's passing out because he lost his leg, and we got Anna and Mitch to the next cycle trap. This one was pretty scary.
Uh, this one, Jigsaw built a giant blender. No, it was
Yeah.
not scary. It was goofy. He built a giant blender, and he caught Mitch in like a Looney Tunes like trap by his legs, and I hoisted him up and started lowering him into the giant blender. And Anna tried to help him, and then it didn't work, and then Mitch died.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why this is his trap because his backstory is he sold a bike that has some brake problems, and the guy who bought him died because of the brake issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why this is his trap. Do you think that's fair for him?
So yeah, everybody in uh this setup of tests, you said it's called the murderer's tests, right?
Yeah.
Everybody here caused somebody to die
Hmm.
one way or another. So the fact that I think at this point, as he's being lowered into the giant blender, we know everything about his story, and it's not just that he sold uh a bike to a kid and the kid died. He sold a bike knowing that the brakes were bad. Like he knew the
Yeah.
brakes were messed up, and he took the money anyways. And then that guy left and then got like hit by a semi truck, which if I remember correctly looked really stupid in the
Yeah,
movie.
it was.
But then they add this whole thing where the Jigsaw tape John says that the guy you sold it to was my nephew.
Yes.
That I think is unnecessary. That doesn't add anything. Like John's done a couple of personal things before, like how like his lawyer, he did one that's Art from Saw 4,
Yeah.
and his health insurance guy
Yeah.
from Saw 6. He's done them before, and he confronted the guy from Saw 7. But the
Yeah.
fact that he's like doing the vengeance thing, he even did a Jigsaw vengeance quote earlier.
Yeah.
He's doing like you killed my nephew. Like he could have killed anybody. And everyone else in this trap did just kill anybody with the exception of Anna's, because
Ooh.
they also add this whole convoluted like, Anna, you did something bad and I was your neighbor at the time and I saw you do it. What the hell?
Uh,
You don't need to make things personal to John like that for like he sees bad people and puts them in tests to fix them. That's what it's always been. It's weird that they felt the need to like add a personal. It just seemed like lazy writing. Like, oh, why is this guy? He killed John's nephew. Whatever. It's stupid.
I would accept it because knowing it's, or now we know that it's like a prequel, so it's like he's doing his vendettas first and then doing the nobody traps later after Saw 1.
That
So
would work. That would, except that he got the homeless lady that stole a purse and then someone died. And then Ryan, when we learned Ryan's thing, he just like got in a car crash.
yeah.
Like he and his drunk friends crashed a car.
Uh, maybe he was like, he's trying to,
Oh,
he's figuring it out.
and then John reveals he's like, and I was in the other car, and that's when I got spikes through my body. What a reveal
Oh,
that's not in this movie that I just
yeah.
made up.
Oh, that's a great. Oh man,
See, it should have been me. I should have made Jigsaw.
you should have written. You should have wrote this whole movie.
And it would have made
A lot of sense.
$105 million instead of $104 million.
But yeah, before we get into the last, it's not nearly like a last trap, but it's like towards the end of the movie. But before we do that, let's get back to our guys. We got our detectives, and we got our.
These aren't my guys. I don't claim them.
Well, we got our other characters in the story.
Sure.
We got the detectives, the guy with the old guy, Holleran, and his partner Keith Hunt. They were investigating like what's going on. Is Jigsaw alive? He's been dead for 10 years. Like what's the baloney, And then they'd have to talk to Logan and Anna. Not Anna, sorry, Eleanor. And they were all discussing, you know what I'm saying? And we realized that Logan, who's also friends with the detective, Keith Hunt, they were partners one time. I don't remember. I don't remember the backstory, but they're friends.
Yeah, this Logan fella, he was like in the army or some sort of military, and they said he like got captured in a thing, and none of these people matter. They are the most bland people. So you got bland guy number 1, and you got bland cop, and then you have weird freaky like Jigsaw fan girl.
Yeah.
And they're just like hackneyed, kind of like, ooh, is this guy a Jigsaw? No, maybe the girl's a Jigsaw. She's weird. And then the girl's like, I'm not a Jigsaw, but I know we're a Jigsaw. And it doesn't matter. All these people suck. And then you get to the end. Eleanor and the Logan fella get to the end. They go to
the barn.
They discover, they're like, oh, there's a barn where all this stuff was happening. Oh, I think that's where the test is. Let's go there. And the editing kind of is weird, because when they get to the barn, like, our story of the test is not over yet, and it's very clearly daytime in the barn when everything's happening, but they roll up at night. So if you're supposed to believe that it is still happening at the same time, that you're not anymore. And I don't know if that's on purpose. It just kind of happens.
Yeah. I mean, they were into the barn at night, but someone was following them. That was Holleran, because he had some suspicion of like between them.
The cop thinks that our main Logan guy is sus. It's basically doing the Detective Hoffman and Agent Strom thing from Saw 5.
Yes.
And Holleran was like, oh, we get to that in a minute. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, when the detectives were discovering like what's going on, they were doing an autopsy on Edgar, who got shot. They removed his head, I think. Is that what's in that in an autopsy? But yeah, they found a bullet that may be from someone else, and that was Detective Holleran. He shot the guy in the chest because they were like, "Hey, who shot him?" He's the guy who shot him, so he's kind of dirty as well. Um,
I wanna stress that I maintain. So us discussing this part of the movie, the what turns out to be modern day part of the movie,
yeah.
this is probably the worst recap we've done in this entire series. But
Yeah.
it's not just because I watched this like 2-3 weeks ago or whatever. It's because this part of the movie, and I'll say again, doesn't matter. It's boring. It sucks. None of the characters matter or are good. It's just stupid,
Yeah.
and it ends stupid. All
Ah. Okay.
all you got to know is we got one guy who's our main guy, and then we got the cop guy. And the cop guy thinks our main guy is bad, and then they get to the barn, which they make sure to tell us is it's the old Tuck pig farm. Jill Tuck's that's
Yes.
Jigsaw's ex-wife. So like not only do they tie it into like Jigsaw's wife had this barn as a kid or whatever, and but it's a pig farm, so there's a pig connection for the pig masks, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it makes sense in that sense.
I'm gonna skip straight forward to Logan and Holleran are put in their trap, their test.
Well, let's go before that. The shotgun
Okay,
trap.
you wanna so flash back to the back in the day.
Yeah.
Mitch just got chucked in a blender and died.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's like that one movie in Unfriended. Remember the guy, that kid put his hand in the
That was an actual blender.
yes. But yeah, both deaths are terrible. But yeah, so we got Anna in the trap with Ryan. Right
Yeah,
now he got no leg, you know. He
our
got one leg.
our last two remaining people. They're chained in a room. I don't remember how Anna got chained. How did she get knocked out?
The Jigsaw point. She got knocked by the guy in the pig mask and tranquilized her.
Oh, he just walked in.
And yeah, and
Okay.
Ryan is like he's been passing out, so he just took him out. Just took him
Mhm,
in.
mhm.
But yeah, they're on opposite sides of the shotgun in the middle, and we revealed that the guy in the pig mask is
John Kramer. The
ooh
biggest twist of this movie is that Jigsaw is Jigsaw.
yeah. Yes, Jigsaw is back. Not back, but
Yeah, so as I alluded to at the beginning, the entire reason for the format of this movie being mostly a flashback is like we got to get Tobin Bell back in the movie, and that's what led to this scene. Which you know, I'm
do
happy to
you,
see him.
yeah, do you like it? I'm glad to see him in this non-sick way because he's always been sick in the movies.
Mhm.
But you see him alive and active. But yeah, I like that. But yeah, so let's get into Anna's story. It's kind of messed up. So she kind of framed her husband of killing her kid by her husband was sleeping and then rolled over on the kid and the kid suffocated. But in actuality, um, the baby was in the crib and Anna was like so frustrated, so annoyed, and she killed her baby with a pillow.
He asphyxiated her baby. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cop came in, arrested her husband. Then her husband is like he's like doesn't he felt so bad, of course he killed his kid. Then he killed himself.
Yeah, he
And
hung himself.
I think she is the worst. If I'm trying to remember all the Saw victims or whoever was in the traps, I think she's the worst one.
Yeah, she might be the most evil person in Saw.
Yeah, I comparing her to the guy who called out of work. Come on.
Oh my god, not that guy.
I always have to roll back to that one because he does
And
not deserve it.
and he burned to death.
Yeah, which is horrible.
He burned to death. He was naked. There was broken glass.
Yeah, first of all, you're naked.
He was given like an impossible task.
Literally.
Man, all he did was call out from work, and this lady killed
Her
her
baby.
infant child.
Oh man.
This,
I don't know what was going Jigsaw's mind of picking his people, but
well, think about this, Abrar.
yeah.
This is the first trap. That guy was after this.
That's crazy actually. Oh, maybe he was experimenting, like, let me try this.
He was
But
running out
yeah.
of steam.
But yeah, basically John Kramer was saying, yeah, Anna, you're my neighbor and you did this horrible thing. Ryan, you did a car crash. You're in here too. And here's a shotgun. Whoever kills each other will survive. And he said an important thing is the key. The key is in the bullet. Did he say something like that?
He did not say the key is in the the key was in the bullet, but he didn't say that.
Yeah, he said something.
Yeah.
He said like this is the key. Oh no, yeah.
Oh,
The-
yeah, he's holding the shotgun shell and he says, "This is the key to your
the-
freedom."
Yeah, there we go. And that's
Whoa, fuck you, John.
I mean, it's the same thing in Saw 2 where Daniel was in the safe. Like, hey, he's in a safe place.
It's very John.
Yeah, that's what I like about him. But yeah, Anna's like, all right, I want to kill you, and Ryan is like,
Anna, right off the bat, she's like, "Bet, you know I killed a baby. I'm gonna shoot you now, and I'm out of here."
I'm out of here. Ryan is like, I can't reach to the shotgun. I have one leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anna got the gun. Oh, John Kramer left. He like, all right, I don't want to see this. He left. And he's like, I think it was just like his nap time. But yeah, Anna got the shotgun and aimed at Ryan. Pulled the trigger. Uh-oh.
There was something in the clue that Ryan like pieced together right before Anna pulled the trigger.
Oh yes.
Where he's like, "Wait, don't." I don't know why he bothered to wait, don't, because the clue he pieced together was not the key is in the shotgun shell. You didn't get that till afterwards.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was too late. But what he did piece together, I don't remember what the exact line was, but basically, the shotgun shoots backwards, which is amazing. It's an amazing idea. It bursts open like a Looney Tunes gun,
It did.
and it blasts Anna's face off, and
Yeah.
then all the little burnt, crumpled pieces of key are on the ground, and Ryan's just stuck. He's just like, well, he's left to the classic Adam from Saw 1. He's like, well, and he's missing a leg like Gordon from Saw 1. He got the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, so that's how Jigsaw was like, huh,
You're
let
missing a
me
leg, say. All right.
missing a leg
I
and
like that.
yeah, missing a leg and you're trapped like that. So let me do that for Saw 1. That's what you're planning.
That's what he said at the end. He said, I'm going to do this in Saw 1.
And also when John Kramer left before his nap time, he recreated his game over, but without saying game over.
He didn't think of it yet. He wasn't.
But he did that.
He wasn't at full power yet.
Yeah, yeah. He just basically did the iconic shot of him closing the doors. But yeah, you got the line.
He should have tried out a different catchphrase,
Uh,
and then realized like, oh, that doesn't work. And then
what would work? He could because it's like maybe like nap time, and he closes the door.
cuckoo.
Cuckoo, yes. From the Pope's actresses.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Freaking Russell Crowe should have been Jigsaw. I think it would have been great. It's freaking Anthony Hopkins.
You're right. Sure. I mean, you're wrong, but whatever. I'm not gonna fight
Okay.
you.
But yes. Okay, so that happened, and now what's his face? Detective Hollerin. Do you remember what happened to Detective Keith, his friend? I don't remember.
He just stopped being in the movie. Like he didn't die. He didn't end up in a trap or anything. He just stopped being in the movie.
Yeah. He's like, okay.
He said,
But yeah,
nap time.
he's he's sleeping with John Kramer.
Oh my.
No, not like that. Not like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa.
No, they were like wearing little like sleeping caps and
Yeah, like the
all.
little Halloween, like from that Jim Carrey movie where he's like an old man animated. Got the movie the name.
That was Christmas,
Oh,
and
yes,
it was a Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. Yes, shout out to that movie. But yeah, they're sleeping with those hats on. But yeah, so Colleran, he uh he was what was he? He came into the barn and put the gun out to Anna and Logan, and then
No,
how did?
Eleanor and Logan.
Sorry, I'm getting confused. They're kind of similar. Eleanor and Logan, and how did Colleran? Oh, I like what? I forgot what happened in that scene. Um,
Someone Eleanor runs away,
yeah,
and Halloran is just attacked by a pig mask or something, and both Halloran and Logan wake up
yes.
in a trap, and the trap is
It's called the Laser Colors.
yeah, so like laser beams shoot out, and
Very advanced
you
for a
have
prequel.
to confess your sins,
Yeah,
confess what you did wrong, or else the lasers are gonna converge on your head and kill you.
yeah, and there's two buttons, one for each other. Colleran is like, all right, who's gonna do it? So Colleran's all right, I'll do it. But as a slimy guy he is, he pushed his Logan's button,
These are guys' buttons. Mhm.
and then he went back. He got pulled back to the wall, and the lasers were beaming down. And then the lasers kind of like killed him. Like the blood came out of his neck. Pretty horrific.
Oh yeah. So at this point, Logan confesses, and we'll learn in a minute why it's silly that he did. He confesses that his sin was that he botched his job as a as like an orderly or a nurse or something.
Yeah,
He mislabeled two different diagnoses on X-rays, and uh, he it led to John Kramer. It led to his cancer going undiagnosed until it was too late. And he was
yeah.
like, "That's my fault."
It,
And then
is it a normal mistake or is it? I don't think should be a mistake.
what do you mean?
Like I don't think doctors can make that mistake of switching the X-rays or messing up the X-rays for each patient.
I don't know. Is the way the movie phrased it was he was careless and bad at his
Yeah,
job.
yeah, that could happen.
So so he says like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to," and then the lasers appear to kill him,
Yeah, and there's
and
blood gushing out everywhere.
blood shoots out, and then it's time for Holloran's test, and I may be misremembering, but I think at first he was like, "I didn't do anything," and the lasers get a little closer. He was like, "All right, I did something."
Yes,
Uh,
and but then something happened.
well, first he says, "Oh, it doesn't matter." He just says he was a bad cop. That doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then he realizes that like he looks up and he sees that the lasers are like burning into the ceiling, and he looks over at the other lasers and they're not burning into the ceiling. And
Nope.
then Logan gets up and the Saw music starts playing. Here's the twist.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
Logan's the bad guy. So the guy that the cop thought was a bad guy the whole time was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he says,
He has a deep voice, by the way. Logan, when he switched into that
yeah,
uh,
when he turned heel.
yeah, when he turned heel, he had a deep voice. I was like, "Oh, this is kind of very menacing."
Well, I think they were. I don't know, but I feel like they were banking on
This guy?
this guy being our new Hoffman.
Oh.
You know,
I, yeah, I guess that didn't turn out well.
Uh, so he gets up and he's like, yeah, I messed up on John's diagnosis thing, and then he put me in a trap. The reveal is back in the day, he was the buckethead that didn't get out of the trap.
Yes, he was the mystery partner, not partner, mystery
And
guy.
and I love, love, love. So John gave him too much of like the drug. He didn't wake up in time. He almost gets killed by the saw blades, and John runs in and he's like, he legitimately says, "That's my bad, fella. I'm gonna get you out of here. I really fucked up on this one." He takes him out. He like nurses him back to health,
Yes.
and he's like, "You're gonna be my son now."
Yes.
and and, and then he grows up to be a big Jigsaw, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, messing up on the X-rays. You know, that's not really a bad thing because anybody can do that. He's like, all right,
It was kind of bad.
it was bad, but it's an honest mistake, I guess. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. Uh,
Um,
but he hollering is like, "You son of a bitch! I knew you was a Jigsaw." And then Logan says, I'm the new guy. Expect to see me around forever." And we never see him again. But he does say, "Game over." And
game over.
then the
Yeah.
lasers slice up Holleran's head, and his head falls apart in a big CG mess, and he looks like one of the zombies from one of the later Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, Resident Evil or like from Last of Us,
Mm.
like
And
that.
it's just bad, and this movie's finally over, but it's bad.
But for a prequel,
No, it's bad.
no, I mean, like for a prequel, that trap is like really advanced.
Well, that part was in
The present day, sorry.
modern day,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. True,
but
true, true, true.
I think the lasers go against everything about Saw is supposed to be like rusty, dingy, barbed wire,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
steam, and like disgusting, and then it's just these future laser head things. It's weird.
Yeah. It's too modern, I guess. But the Holleran's sin was that because throughout the whole movie, the guy who doesn't show up, the other detective, he was asking about Logan's wife. He's like, are you right, man? Because his wife died. The way the wife dies because Holleran told the snitch, the guy who the trigger, Edgar,
Oh yeah.
he ordered Edgar to kill Logan's wife.
I don't think he ordered him to. I think he just didn't arrest him after he did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because he was a snitch, like you said, and he was just like letting him do bad stuff, and then kept using him as a snitch anyways. But
Yeah.
that's why Logan wanted to kill him. See, I forgot about that because none of it matters. None of those people, they all suck, and we're never gonna see him again.
Yeah, so as of right now, Logan in this, I don't think we're back into the old city of the original Saw 7, Saw through the original Saw franchise. It's like a new city, right? Or is it the
I
same area?
I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint because no one ever says where they are.
They never do.
Chicago, I'm telling you. No, it they never say, and but every cop knows who Jigsaw is.
Yes.
They're like, "Oh, it's just like the old Jigsaw case." And that continues on in Spiral as well. And Spiral, I think, is definitely in a different city.
That's uh
Do they say in that one? They might.
I'll have to look on it, but yeah. I think they did. But yeah, that's for another that's the next episode for us for that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
for Jigsaw, after rewatching it, after we discussed it, what do you think about it? What do you think now?
Um, it's it like I said, it's fine in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things. There's definitely, like, I complained about them like making like not everything, but like making some of it so personal to John. Like John was her neighbor, John was his uncle, John whatever. It doesn't. I don't think that's necessary. And then I don't like the lasers. The lasers are really off-putting to me for some reason.
It's not.
And
Yeah, it's not Jigsaw-y, I guess.
the the twist of everything's happening back like 10 years ago, that's okay.
Hmm.
I think it works when you're watching it, even though, like I said, there's some editing things that make you like question it. They really go out of their way to hide it from you. Like I said, that Logan recreated the whole test for some reason. So all these corpses they're finding throughout the movie are corpses not of the people from back then, but of the recreated test,
Yeah,
who all died in the same exact way.
yeah.
Like they even stabbed all the needles into that one lady.
It's pretty crazy.
Also, they didn't commit the same crimes. You just picked people that looked like you guys.
Yeah.
Um, Whatever.
But yeah, it was alright. It did bring back the nostalgia of the Saw series to into 2017. Um, but yeah, I guess if you're gonna watch this film, just think of like, oh, it's like a nostalgia type of movie. Like, oh, do you remember this? Well, here it happens here again.
If you've come this far, there's no reason to not watch Jigsaw 2.
Yeah, I don't think.
That's what I have to say.
Yeah, I don't think Jigsaw.
You've already watched 1 through 7. This one's not worse than 7.
Yeah. If this wasn't if this movie never existed, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this movie was needed.
No, definitely not.
No, because we never heard about Logan until now because he was the original apprentice.
Yeah, well, it stinks of them trying to bring back the series. That's what it is.
Yeah,
2.5 stars.
2.5 stars. Yeah, I think I gave it 3. It could
I'm
be two and
looking
a
right
half.
now. You also gave it 2.5.
2.5. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember when I rated, but yeah, I rated without thinking. No, I do think, but I rated after I watch it. But yeah, 2.5 makes sense.
2.5 is also what we gave Saw 5. I think that's fairly on par.
Yeah, they're kind of the same.
Well, that's what I gave Saw 5. I don't remember what you gave it.
Check right now.
You gave it 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's because of the ending. Because of Hoffman is like, ha ha ha, I'm in the box. I think
Fair
that's why I
enough.
gave it 3. But yeah, so that's Jigsaw, man. I know I'm not gonna ask you where they can find you because we already know the answer. But if you have an answer,
No, you can ask me.
okay. So Skyler, where can the audience where can they find you?
They can find me in the next episode where we're going to talk about Spiral.
Oh, very nice. So until then, guys, let's count 2, 3. Rocky Balboa. He's a life coach. Okay.
Adrian.
Yeah, let's scream Adrian at the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adrian.
Bing bang.